Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well. So what we're going to do in this one is we're going to create a user table seeder that actually by default it actually comes with Laravel installation, right? The table seeder right here. So we could populate this, but what we want to do is we want to create a user, basically a profile factory, because every user is got one profile and a profile basically belongs to a user. All right, so we're going to set up that type of seeder right here. So whenever we seed the database with a user, we're going to create a profile for them as well. Right. So let's quickly create the factory for the basically the profile. Okay, so let's just do that. So PHP artisan make factory. I'm going to call this one profile factory. This, press enter. All right, so you will see we got a new factory under database factories. We've got our profile factory right here. Right, so obviously there's a couple of fields in here. This one is the bio. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to create a faker paragraph. Paragraph like this. Okay, the other one was Facebook. So for those that might be new, let me just open my profile controller. Profile for our models, actually. As you can see, we've got a bio, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. But you can obviously add additional fields however you want, but I'm just going to use this as an example. All right, so Facebook, what we want to do, I'm just going to create a random URL, so it will not be the Facebook URL. It will just be a random one. Okay, so this is just for testing purposes, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Twitter, because normally you don't want to run a factory in production, so this is literally just for development. And the other one is going to be Instagram and LinkedIn, like this. Okay, and just for readability, let me just do this. Right, so we've got a paragraph right there for our bio and just fake URL. So this will be completely random URLs. Okay, so that's now our factory all set up. So let's quickly create for our users. All right, so in this case, the user. All right, we're going to do a factory. No, let's just do let's do a factory. Because just remember, with the default installation with Jetstream in this case, it will create a user factory as well. So it will create a name, email, all that kind of stuff. All right. But if you want to do additional fields, let's say you add a username field, just come to your factory and just add the username right here. Okay. Then you're just going to create that randomly. Okay. So just want to point that out. Right. So the user factory, and then we're just going to call on create. Okay. So what we want to do is, actually don't even need that. We can just do a user create in this case. But anyway, let's do it like this. And we're just going to do the name. All right. The name of this user will be the admin user. All right. The admin user and the email. Okay. This will be admin@example.com. So you can obviously create anything you want. The next one will be the password. Okay, the password, we're going to use bcrypt to hash basically our password so that when it's in the database, nobody can basically see what the password is unless they decrypt the password. Okay, the next one is type. So what type of user this is, and we're just going to say user. This will be an admin. Okay, so we assign that. You see, that's nice about the constants. I can just call it like this. Very, very nice. Just do this. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this down 3 times. All right, because I just want to create a writer user, a moderator, and a default user, and then we're just going to seed the database with 10 users. Right. Actually, before I do that, I just want to assign a profile to every user. So we're just going to do basically profile. That user's profile, we just want to save. Okay. And we just want to do a profile factory, and then we just want to make one like this. All right. So basically what will happen now is we'll just create a profile for that user as well. Okay. So let's copy this down. Let me just make sure I import the profile model. Okay. So it's already imported. That's good. Just copy this down 4 times. 2. Okay. So we got our admin user. This one will basically be our writer user, and it will be writer at example.com, and this will be a writer as well. Right. So this one will be our mod user. So mod. Okay. This will be moderator like that, and I just, instead of caps, just do this. Okay, so it's our moderator, our writer, and this one is going to be our default user, and I'm just going to call him John Doe. This will be John at example.com, and he will be a default user. Okay. So, but that's basically our standard users. These are the ones I want to be able to log into, right? So into their accounts. Now let's just create 10 random users. So let's just do a user factory, and we just want to create 10 of them. Okay, and then we just do a create, and then we're just going to do a callback for each. Okay, and then we're just going to do a function, and then we're just going to do pass in that user. All right, and then what we want to do for that user, okay, that from the standard we create for every user, we just want to do a factory. Note for each factory, right? And then we just want to save. Just copy this. Okay. This, anyways. Okay, save the profile like that. Okay. So basically what we're going to do we're just going to do a user factory to create, and we go all back for each user. We just want to create a profile for them as well. So this is 10. So basically what we're going to have is 14 users. We're going to have an admin, writer, moderator, and a default user, and then just a bunch of random users, right? Because when we call on the user, the default type of that user, let's just go to the user factory right here. We just need to do a type as well, but we don't have to, because in our migrations, let me just go to the migrations for the user. You will see right here, we got a type and the default type. So whenever a user is created, they will have a default type of 1, which means they will be a default user. All right. So we don't even have to specify it here. So that's basically just our default users. All right, so let's quickly seed our database. So PHP artisan migrate fresh. I'm just doing a fresh one, and / seed. All right, so drop the tables and basically seed them. All right, save. Call to undefined method user factory save. Okay, let me just check what's wrong there. Right, this needed not to be a factory. This must actually be profile. Profile right here. All right, so let's just do that again. All right, so it's seeded our database. This, because this here we create the user, but on the profile, we just want to save the profile. Okay, so that mustn't be a factory. That might just be the profile. Okay, so let's see if we actually seeded our database. Right, so we're in our database right here. So let's go to Stripe block, and you will see under the users, we got our users. You see admin, writer. Well, let me make this bit bigger. So as you can see, we got our admin, writer, moderator, and a normal user, and then we got 10 of the other users. As you can see, we've got 14 right there. So let's see if we can see the profiles as well. So as you can see, we got the profiles for every user. As you can see, it's just random generated URLs for them. right? And you can see the user IDs right here. So that case you will see is the admin user. This one will be the writer, mod user, and Yonder. Right, so this is quite handy when we actually want to work on our front end stuff. All right, so that's it from me, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.